What is up, everyone? So you can probably tell we're using a different camera, so I completely lost the normal camera. How long? We spent the entire afternoon looking for it. So I got the track cam out and we're filming with that today. So last video we attempted to dyno tune, that was 2 videos ago. Well, we tried to dyno tune the DE+T SR20 build, right? And it didn't survive the first dyno session. We slipped the clutch pretty much on the first pull real bad, so we put a new clutch in it. Now it has an action stage 3. And we are ready to attempt to dyno tune this thing once again, and I'm feeling optimistic. I'm feeling good today. I think it's gonna do great. What about you, Tony? What do you think?
There's no downfall now.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
Oh yeah, we're gonna find out, but I don't think so. I think it should do good.
I hope so. So, if you guys are new to the build, right? We've been doing an SR20DE turbo conversion in my S14 Silvia, right? So we have a completely stock DE motor, and we threw a turbo on it, right there. A little GT2860 RS. Intercooler kit, 740s injectors, I believe, Linky Steel electronics, and, well, pump gas. So, I don't know what to expect. So we talked all about this last time, but we have to give a recap since we're back on the dyno, right? So, what's the difference between a DE motor and a DET motor, right? So we talked about it, higher compression. Turbo motors are 8.5 to 1, the DE engine is 10 to 1, which is very high for a turbo car and pump gas, so we gotta play, defense on this one. Besides that, no oil squirters in the bottom end, right? So we gotta be wary of the piston temps. Cam profiles are different, and I can assume that the piston rods are much weaker. So we have to be very, very careful. It seems like a lot of guys can make good power on these engines if you don't detonate them, right? Ethanol makes good power, but we're in pump gas. Pump gas plus high compression means, well, it's very prone to detonation. So we have to be very conservative today, but I also wanna make some jams. So we threw a 7 PSI wastegate in it, which I don't know why I'm pointing because you can't even see that, but it was making like 11 to 12 PSI before the clutch slipped. So didn't wanna make that much, but we're gonna see what happens. So let's look at what happened last time when it slipped on dyno, right? So as you can see, we're making some jam here, it slipped, caught for a second, and then we pulled off, right? It still made 269 foot-pounds of torque. That's quite a bit of torque, right? So since we do have an NA bottom end, torque management here is key. We can't make too much torque too soon, or else we gotta worry about our internals getting destroyed, right? So we have a VTC gear, we have higher compression, we have a small turbo, so keeping that all under control will be interesting, but I think we can manage today, and I'm really just excited to see what the power curve looks like. I'm usually never nervous tuning, but I'm actually kind of nervous right now.
The ride might go through the block.
What? No. I don't need that energy from you, Tony. I need some good juju here.
Nah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna make good power.
There we go.
And it's gonna make more than stock.
Where's Donnie?
Yeah. He said he was on his way, by the way.
Yeah. It was breaking up.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. A lot of it, you can see it in the map. What the heck happened?
That's torque.
Yeah, scary.
298.
I'm telling you, dude, like with the VTC, the high compression, the small turbo, it's like a recipe for torque.
It wants it all.
It wants it all. All right, so it made that made 298 foot-pounds of torque. That is not good. That is so much torque. So it came in, and it looks like it fell on its face at 4,800 RPM. So I heard it and I felt it break up. You did too. So
yep.
Let me check the logs, get a better idea of why it might have happened. We could have just blown the spark out or something, right? We did throw new plugs in it. We gapped them, but we didn't gap them super aggressively. We might have to, right? We're still on the distributor, so yep. We might have to go smart coil quicker than we thought. 300 foot-pounds of torque. Oh man, Tony. Let's get these things gapped up a little bit tighter, and we'll try again. All right, Donnie, I need as much good juju as possible. All right, I'll give her a little. So it broke up again, but it broke up a little bit later. But dude, it made even more power.
No way.
Oh my God.
314 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah. Okay, so you know what it is? It made more boost that time.
Really?
Yeah, it like loaded up and it made 12 pounds of boost. I don't trust that wastegate, dog. Everything's great.
Cross your fingers.
Yeah, Donnie.
Made a lot more power then.
A little better.
A little better. Let's just make sure it didn't hit boost cut on that one. You can only look at so many things at once, right? You kind of have to set a bunch of fail safes just in case you hit a parameter that you're not comfortable with. The car will actually
Blow up.
break up. So it won't blow up.
I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. So we gotta check the logs.
It's like in a relationship. You gotta break up so you don't blow her up.
I guess how that's how that works.
Donnie. Yeah. Okay, that time we hit boost limit,
Really?
which is like 14 PSI.
Damn.
Yeah, it like ramped in real slow out of nowhere, like it just tickled it. So that time we just hit boost limit, that's why it broke up, so.
Fix that.
This damn wastegate, Tony.
We should have just put a 14-pound wastegate on it.
You should just shut up.
So there's two reasons why it could be making more boost up top, right? Either one, the wastegate's being foo-foo, or two, I'm just not putting enough ignition timing into it, right? So if I don't put enough ignition time into it, it'll actually create more back pressure in the manifold, which will create more boost. So you'll actually make more power due to boost, but it's not efficient power, right? I'm definitely being on the softer end of timing because I am a little bit nervous. I don't know if nervous or I'm just playing defense too much. So I'm gonna do what Derek would do and just put more timing into it and see if it flattens the boost curve out. If it doesn't, then we have a mechanical issue and we just gotta cross our fingers here. So let's hope that we don't make too much power. Yeah, I made just as much boost. All right, so we know it's a mechanical issue. Ugh. Let's figure it out. Looks like it works fine to me. Look at this thing. Whoa! All right, enough of that. All right, well, we know it works.
So what's the problem?
I don't know. I'm like curious if it's not opening. I mean, it opens the throw of it. Like, look how big the throw is. Ready? It's not like a 1-inch throw.
Should open enough.
Which should open enough. Shit. You want to film the wastegate when I do a pull, so we can see if it's like fully actuated.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we filmed the wastegate opening. As you guys can see, it like slowly opened. It never popped open like how we saw it happen on the air compressor. So we're gonna try a different boost source. It could be leaking, not giving an efficient reading, so we're gonna go straight to the manifold, to the wastegate, and see if that helps. Same shit. It's still overboosting, so let's use this to figure out if we have some type of mechanical bind on the wastegate. So we're hoping to see it fully actuate. I should have assumed there was 100
Holy
PSI
shit.
in there. It looks like we have full movement. Like it seems like there's no bind.
Yeah, it's completely opening.
Look at it. Look at it. Damn it, Tony.
This is the whole process.
I don't think it was opening all the way though when we filmed it. Not that much, right?
Nah.
I don't think so. All right, so we made some type of contraption here. So check this out, right? This is a manual boost gauge, and I'm gonna use this to figure out how much pressure it takes to fully open the wastegate. Because as you can see, it'll slowly open and then pop open, right? So it should fully pop open at 7 PSI, but clearly it's not. That's 7 PSI right there.
It's not even moving.
Ready? And then this is, that's 10. That's 20. Damn, this gate sucks. So it looks like it's actually opening at a linear rate from 10 PSI to 20 PSI, right? So it cracks open at 10 PSI and then is fully open by 20. We need this thing fully open by 10 PSI. Oh wow, it doesn't fully open until 25. and then fully opens right there. All right, so
We need a new wastegate.
we need a new wastegate. So if you guys don't know how this works, there's a flap right here, right? So what this does is when you open it, it bleeds off all the excess pressure and gas inside the manifold and blows it past the turbo instead of actually spinning the turbo. And that's how it manages the boost level of the turbo, right? So the problem is this isn't opening enough. So it can't relieve enough back pressure in the manifold to stop the turbo from making even more power. So now we're gonna test it off of the car to make sure that it's not a mechanical binding issue, right? If this thing fully actuates in the given range off the car, we know there's something binding in the mechanics of it. So 10, 15, 20. Yep. Same thing. 5, 10, 15, and then 20. So it looks like even out of the car, we have the same characteristics of the wastegate openings. So if you check the log out, you can see the boost curve right here, how it literally just slowly goes higher and higher and higher in boost, which really follows the trend of how slow that wastegate opens. So, took this wastegate off the Black Z. I hate doing that so much, but I couldn't find anything else around the shop. And I want to see this thing open faster. I want the threshold of it slightly opening to fully open being a lot tighter. That's what I want to see. 10, 14. Fully opens at 14, huh? Mm-hmm. All right, so see, that makes sense. I'd assume that's a 14-pound gate, fully opens at 14. It starts opening around, what, 10, 11 PSI? Yep. So the threshold is way tighter, and that's what we want to see. So a little bit of metal finessing later, and it is officially in place. And now I'm gonna test it. And keep your eyes peeled, buddy. Ready? 10, 12 PSI, 15.
Yep.
Okay, so it's fully opened by 14, 15, right? That's good. That's more boost than I want to make, but it's not 20. So I'm gonna turn the boost limit up and just let this thing hit all of the 15 PSI that it wants. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me. Damn it.
Same thing.
Same thing. Like, I feel like some people in the comments, oh, the internal wastegates suck, that's why I should go external. But usually, I mean, we've always had good luck at, you know, lower flow numbers like this.
It's so cold. The issue? Maybe the distributor, maybe.
It could swing a lot of ignition timing. It could. Sure. We should throw the timing light on it and check it real quick, because it could be thrown at 10 degrees and we're not realizing. I mean, it's still making good power. So I wouldn't think that it would be ignition based, but it could be.
Get those dumb coils for it.
What was that?
It might need the dumb coils.
Oh, the Donnie coils.
The dumb coils.
Yeah. All right, so Tony's gonna do the pull. You're gonna be the dyno operator, right?
This is the first.
All right. Yeah, get that seat forward. What I'm gonna do while Tony does the pull is I'm gonna put the timing light on the crank and visibly make sure that it's commanding the timing that's supposed to be commanding up top, right? So I have to make sure that it's not retarding the timing at higher RPMs, like sometimes a lot of hardware does, so. Got the timing light, hopefully this thing doesn't explode in my face. You guys see those marks right there on the crank? Right now you can see it's commanding 20 degrees. Alright, so that's super sketchy. Don't do that. The clutch fan going crazy if that, oh my god, whatever. I had to do it for the sake of science. It was good. The ignition timing was in the area where I commanded it. This boost curve does not look good. That sucks. All right, so one last test we gotta do here is doing a pull with the wastegate fully open. So if you look, Tony, I wired that shit open. You see it? See how the arm is just fully open? So now the goal is to see if it's gonna make boost with the wastegate fully open.
So Brian over here got his new crank in.
Yeah. Checking it out, put on the inspection glasses.
Yep.
Looks good.
Do those allow you to see like?
Oh yeah, no, it shows everything. All right.
That's the last piece of the puzzle.
Last piece of freaking puzzle.
So bring that to JP and hopefully get the engine back soon.
Still made all of the boost.
Really?
Yeah. With the wastegate fully open, we still made 14 PSI, so the the hunting continues. Now, this is probably a test that we should have done earlier on, but honestly, I had no incentive to do so because I've never really seen an SR have a back pressure issue before. So at this point, what we gotta do is we gotta start disconnecting pieces of our exhaust because there is something in our exhaust restricting airflow, creating a lot of back pressure, which isn't allowing the air to escape the manifold fast enough, causing it to overboost because we just made 14 PSI with no wastegate hooked up. You know, like, oh my God. You know, you'll see that on a lot of, you know, bigger engines with small turbos, but this is a pretty proper sized turbo for this car. So, I don't know. Let's disconnect the exhaust at the downpipe and see if that HKS catback is restricting it for some reason. There's a night mode, yeah. There we go, night mode. Ready? So we have the turbo elbow, the downpipe. Those are just open pipes, so I'm not worried about that at all. Come here, also open pipe. The only thing that has any type of baffling is this, I guess, axle back, right? This HKS one. So there's a huge canister there, a big fart can. There's actually a big dent in the exhaust. So if there's gonna be any back pressure, it's gonna be in this. So let's find out. Oh man, that's gonna sound so bad. All right, so wastegate is still fully open. Now, if we see like 3-4 PSI, that's whatever, right? It's a small turbo, internal gates aren't nearly as efficient as external gates. That's not a big deal. That'd be common. 14 PSI, not so common, so. Alright, do a poll, I really gotta know. Two-step like this. No! It sounds terrible.
Hey, what are you doing?
Two-step, we gotta look at the flames. Go over there.
Was it flames?
Yes.
So you only took it off there?
How were the flames?
Shit, because there's the gaps like that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Stop that! But it's so much fun. It's a lot more fun when you're the guy doing it. Like, as a spectator. All right, let's do a poll. Still made all of it. Insane. Same. Is the gate still fully open? If the flap was just sitting there like that, it should still not produce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fully open?
Yeah.
I mean, right, what's different? It's higher compression, same displacement. It's not enough compression to account for that much back pressure in the manifold, you know?
Is the boost gaining at like a specific?
No, it's very exponential. All right, check it out. This is the boost curve. As you can see, it's flat for a while, like it should be, right? Atmospheric pressure. That's about it. That's all you should really see. It starts to creep up a little bit. So be it, that happens. And then, boom, 14 PSI right to the face. Not good. And like we said, the wastegate is fully open. Trust me, it's too dark to see, but it's fully open. So we've done quite a bit of talking so far, but this has definitely been a diag video because all we've been doing all day is trying to figure this out. So beyond anything, I'm impressed because we've done over 19 pulls so far of the engine making over 260 foot-pounds of torque. So we know that she's good for something here. So I hate this because if the wastegate wasn't giving us this issue, it would have been a 3-pull car. It would have been done so quickly. The AFRs were pretty much on point on the first pull, and I know the timing wasn't super far off, so we would have been there. And I want the car to look easy to you guys, because that's the whole point of this. I've been wanting to make this whole build look like it's very simple, right? It's been going smoothly, and this issue is upsetting to see because it shouldn't be happening like this. At this point, since we basically checked over everything, I'd assume it'd be something ignition timing, right, related. We'd assume, we've seen a lot of the older Nissan hardware where, are you shivering?
Shivering.
Are you that cold?
Yes.
Oh man, sorry, I'm so sorry. On the old Nissan hardware, you'll see it actually retard timing very dramatically at higher RPMs, which will then cause, high EGTs, high back pressure, and will cause a spike in boost, right? We've seen that before. We've checked with the timing light. It isn't swinging timing. I threw a bunch of timing in it just for the hell of it. I was like, screw it, blows up, blows up. Did nothing. Sick. Wastegate fully open, which we probably should have checked first, but I've never seen an SR actually have back pressures like this before, ever. We've done so many SRs. We've had the same system of exhausts plenty of times. Hell, we disconnected the exhaust and it sounded so much louder. I was like, oh, there we go. Boom, still did nothing. It is the exact same trend we are seeing no matter what we change on the engine. We've had this same turbo on many SRs. The fact that it's a DE with higher compression isn't enough to explain any of it. I mean, we've had this turbo on a KA, which is a 2.4, also high compression, no issues. So what is it? That's the question. I keep looking at Ant like
I don't know.
But we've tried everything at this point, and I don't honestly know, which is crazy. So what do we do at this point? Do we throw a new manifold on it? Maybe. Stock manifold, is it restrictive? Yeah, but not that restrictive.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've seen people use an SR manifold on a KA before. They just weld a different flange to it. We've seen that before. And if anything's gonna have back pressure, it's gonna be a KA. Do we change out the turbo? Is it worth it? I don't know. Maybe. When the turbo's going, I've never honestly, I had to call Derek. I was like, Derek, you ever see a turbo make more boost when it's going bad? He said never. So like, that theory can be blown out the window. I mean, maybe. Who knows? But there is obviously a hidden gremlin here, and we got to figure it out because this is ridiculous. And if it was only making 14 psi, I'd say screw it, right? Put a boost control on it, and I could make it so it makes 14 psi flat, and I could make it work. But you could tell that it wants to climb over 14 psi. There's no calming this. Like, right? Like, check this thing out. This boost curve right here, right? Exponentially shooting up, and that's at 5,400 from in 1,000 RPM. It goes up 5 psi, and you could imagine that trend continuing all the way up to probably 1,600 RPM. This thing is on its way to make 20 psi, and I'll tell you what, the engine would not be happy there. So I have some more digging to do, I guess, but for now, we are calm defeat for today, which really sucks. But if the wastegate wasn't being an asshole, it was starting to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm upset. I'm really upset. If you're this deep in the video, you're probably not an SR hater, but please, no SR hating comments, because this is definitely not an SR related issue. There's something funky going on. We will figure it out. SRs are great. SRs are good. All right, I'm gonna figure it out. We'll be good to go. This thing's gonna be freaking sick, and everyone's gonna be happy. So for now, we're gonna end it. So you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. And Tony?
SR is good.
Good night.